right now. Morning, Joe. We're going to discuss kind of the art of communication. We're going to deep dive a little bit into how immediately to read people off one particular facial recognition, one particular set of facial recognition. So we're going to deep dive into that. And first, I'm going to talk about a little bit about why the effective communication is done on each individual. There's never going to be like a cookie cutter system to sell everybody because at the end of the day, people are going to be comfortable and are going to buy from people like them. And they're also going to buy from people that can effectively communicate in their language. Everybody has their own language. You guys have all, I mean, we've done, a lot of you guys have been around. We've done the personality types. We have the bull, we have the sheep, we have the tiger, and we have the owl. Like these types of people are immediately, we can subcategorize these people so that we can effectively communicate with them. And a lot of times, a lot of you guys will try and diagnose what type of person this is before. And when you're brand new, you misdiagnose these people, you miscategorize these people, and immediately you're communicating them to a way that's not very effective. So we'll have to do another training on the categories because I think we got some new people in here with exactly the type of person. But here's the golden key is like we want to deliver effective communication in a way that these people will immediately be able to resonate with us and it builds up that rapport bridge. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go over some facial recognition features that you guys will be able to immediately diagnose what type of client this is in a particular category. You guys good with that?
Yep.
And what you'll begin to see is like these facial features are basically they're like it's locked in, and people's facial features change throughout time. People facial features change because their personality changes, adapts, their characteristics kind of change. But there's some specific characteristics of the face that will immediately let us be able to categorize these people into particular types of people. I haven't broke them down into a science of the categories. I'm going to briefly go over the four personality charts. There's also not just these personalities, the way that we categorize these people, but there's also the way that you can do all sorts of tests, the Myers-Briggs test, you guys could do the color code test. Any personality test out there will deliver the same four subcategories of the people. Now, why is it most effective to be able to understand who you're talking to? What's the most effective thing about this?
If you know their personality type, it'll tell you exactly how to sell them.
Yeah. They're gonna be much more comfortable communicating with you, right? If you're a bull and you go to a sheep's house and you bull them, like, dude, like you can bull those people into doing stuff, but they will always inevitably cancel. So this is why we mirror and match at the door. This is why we mirror match in the home. We always want to mirror and match. It builds up an unspoken rapport bridge that allows us to effectively help these people in the best way that we can. But I'm going to briefly kind of go over the subcategories. For some of you guys that don't know, we'll have to do a deep dive training because it's been a while since I've done this. I'm going to go over the first category, and it's going to be, let's just talk about the sheep personality since we brought that up. Can someone give me some characteristics on a sheep personality real fast?
Quiet, doesn't open the door all the way.
Says yes to everything, even though they don't mean it.
They're typically not going to be the decision maker.
Okay, good.
If
There's usually someone of higher authority, right? That's helping them make decisions. They're very, very risk adverse. Think of a sheep. Like anybody ever been around sheep before? They're super skittish and they always stay in the pack, or they always stay in a flock. They're always in the flock. They never deviate from that. You'll never find a sheep out there grazing by itself. They're always within the group. And so like these people are usually like the older ladies, the widowers, the people that were married for 40 years and their husband passed away. Then they have kids making decisions for them. You've got to be very soft spoken. You've got to do a lot of pullbacks. You've got to do a lot of social proof to be able to effectively sell these people. They've got to think that everybody else is doing this. If you're talking to a sheep or you set a sheep appointment, a lot of times they'll cancel on you. They just won't show. They won't answer the door. These are the types of people. You can get these people by taking your sweet time on building the value and doing a lot of social proof. If there's somebody in the neighborhood that went solar that can convince them, if you're going to set a consultation with these guys, and you have to understand and realize that they're a sheep, it's like, who else is helping you make decisions? This is a very good part of the equation. If I'm sitting down with a sheep, I'm going to be like, I'm going to immediately almost recognize this. These people are very easy to identify. They're they'll placate you and they'll say, yes, yes, yes. They avoid confrontation at all costs. These people will avoid confrontation at all costs. They're really dodgy. A lot of times these people will sign up and they'll cancel. They'll set the consultation and they'll cancel. They just won't show up. They're not going to address this. If you sell them at the door or if you sell them at the kitchen table, they'll cancel. Set the appointment, they'll cancel. So it's very important that you're getting looped into other people that are helping these people make a decision. Can sheep be sold? Absolutely. Can they be installed? Absolutely. But they need a lot of time and energy and special attention, and always making sure that you get who's ever helping them make the decision. Make sure you get them roped in. A lot of times they'll just agree to stuff because they're so risk adverse. They're risk adverse to avoiding for confrontation, that they'll just agree with everything that you say. They won't say anything that's going to be contrary to what you say, and they'll be a little bit skeptical. But these people are always going to avoid confrontation at all costs. So these are probably like the worst customer. Like, I used to think the owls were the worst, but let me tell you, these are the worst customer, because you can never get a read on them because they're never themselves. They're always like trying to be chameleons. And a lot of times it's the older ladies. It's older ladies that have been married for 40 years and then their husband made all the decisions for them. A lot of times, a lot of you guys are probably setting sheep appointments, and then it's going and they're trying to talk to their spouse about it, and their spouse is saying no. And the other thing, a lot of times sheep are going to be married to bulls. So they like people to make the decisions for them. So just to make that aware for you guys, just like when you identify these people, almost 9 times out of 10, older ladies are always going to be the sheep personality. Typically, there's going to be some other people too. The categories, it's not just the 2 old ladies, but it's like, it's not just into old ladies, but it's also like a majority of people. The second part is going to be the bull personality. These are the people like, hey, what do you want? What are you selling? These are the people that are going to immediately jump out. These people, if they sense any weakness or they don't respect you, they're not going to make the decision. They're absolutely not going to make the decision. What do you want? Right to the point. Hey, what do you want? What are you selling? Hey, dude, I'm not interested. Like, these people kind of seek out the kind of confrontation. They like to kind of flex themselves. They're known as the strong. There's subcategories in a different category that we could actually go into. They want to be known as strong. They're making all of the decisions. They have all of this, like, they're very assertive, almost aggressive. Sometimes a lot of sales reps are turned off by these people. If you're a weak sales guy or a new sales guy, you usually get your ass taken to the cleaners. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can kind of testify to this, with someone coming to the door and just taking your ass to the cleaners. The best way to address these people is immediately stand up for yourself and give them the same sort of energy that they're giving you. If you can give that right back to them, they will respect you. I know it seems like most of us men on the call here, like, it looks like we're going to come some sort of a physical conflict. But what you'll recognize is that when you stand up to these people and you're assertive right back to them, that these people you'll immediately gain their respect and they'll listen to you. So if someone comes out and says, hey, what do you want? Hey, dude, hey, slow down, bud. Hey, this is super important. I got to talk to you real fast. Come on out here. And you give some sort of a command, and you can do that with absolute confident body language and confident tone. You will gain these people's respect, and you'll get the people to listen to. By the way, these are the best people to sell, because they'll make up their mind. They'll make up their mind very quickly, and they'll hold to that. They're not going to cancel. These people, very rare occasion that these people will cancel. These people immediately make up they're very fast and quick to make decisions. And these people typically don't cancel. Now, if you can learn how to sell these people, these are the absolute best customers. Absolute best customers that you will ever see. I know you guys think that tigers are, but let me just tell you, no, that's not the case. The bulls are the best personality charts, because they immediately make up their mind. If you can make a good enough case and you can be assertive and they respect you, you'll immediately gain their trust and you'll immediately gain their respect, and they'll make up a decision very quickly if you can demonstrate with effective communication on how to close them. Next one is tigers. A lot of you guys love tigers. Everybody loves tigers. These are the people that are like, they know everybody in the neighborhood. They want to start, forging some sort of a relationship. They're talking to you about all sorts of stuff. They know what all the neighbors are doing. These are the guys like, I got somebody for that. Oh, you need plumbing? I got somebody for that. I got somebody for this. I got somebody for this. They really like to flex. They're always keeping up with the Joneses. These are the people that are like, really resonate well with the bandwagon close. These are the people that you got to keep on track. You got to make sure that they understand what we're doing. So like if you're at the door, you can build up the relationship, and a lot of you guys will get stuck in this relationship building and you'll forget about why you were there, or you won't be on track. It's very important that you lead the conversation back into what we're doing. So you have to always come back like, hey, awesome, dude. That's awesome. You bandwagon close works really well with these guys. Chances are, if you mention a neighbor's name in the neighborhood, they're going to know those people anyways. So make sure that if you're mentioning names and stuff out there with a tiger, that you actually did business with these people, or you have a conversation with these people. These people are like the neighborhood. These people are like the neighborhood known people. They know everybody in the neighborhood. They're always keeping up with the Joneses. And these people really love relationships. So it's a fine line. You got to have a relationship, but you also got to make sure that you're going to be able to build out the value in the value proposition that we're demonstrating to them. That's a very important part of the equation. You guys, most of you guys are tigers. Most sales guys are tigers. Jeremy's the biggest tiger I know. I don't think he's on the call right now, but this guy is like total tiger all day and building up those relationships. And the final one is the owl personality. This is usually going to be an engineer. These are the analytical people. These are the people that run the spreadsheets, graphs, and maps. These are the people that they don't believe you. They have to come to the conclusion themselves. These people need simple information looped back over and over and over again. So simple information. You've got to let them know there's nothing more that they need to discover by themselves. These people really resonate with the mathematical equation. The math makes sense. If you look at the math, it's simple addition and subtraction. You're going from here to here. These people love this. These people love you to tell them who they are. Like I always am like, hey, I know you want to run your spreadsheets, graphs, and maps. These people will resonate with other people that they might have respect that have made this decision. A lot of Indians are engineers or are owls, and it's because it's in their culture that a good job is an engineering degree. And so a lot of these guys will analyze and be very analytical because that's just the way their culture has brought them up. And so these guys are the people that are going to run the spreadsheets, graphs, and maps. And you reloop information. You do not go into details with these people about the mechanics. You don't go into details about like, hey, where the panels are made, the specs on the panels. These people will want to thrive in that information spot, but you don't want to be able to loop that in there because they feel like they don't have enough information, and they've got to go do what? They've got to go do their research. Like every single time these people have to do their research. And so very important part of the equation, the math always makes sense. This is a simple addition and subtraction. Your current bill's here, your new bill's down here. We're going to give you a 25-year warranty, blah, blah, blah. These are the things that you want to reloop this information back over and over again. These people will typically say, hey, I need to think about it. Hey, can you send me that? These people are not very easy to push. They're usually they're socially inept. A lot of these guys are really smart people, but unfortunately, smart people usually convince themselves out of making a solar decision. Like they're so smart, they're dumb because they overanalyze everything, and they typically are going to have a hard time on sticking with the decision that they make unless they come to the conclusion themselves. The simple way that sell these people is to reloop simple information over and over and over again. Always go back to the math is always going to make sense. The math always checks out. This is simple addition and subtraction. It doesn't require you to do algebra. This is a simple equation. This is this to this. And these are the very easy way to be able to help close these people. A lot of times these people won't close the first time. And a lot of times if you let them go do the research, they always come to a different conclusion. So it's really important that you're able to reloop that information over and over again so that you could have a fighting chance to be able to help close these people and have these people make a good decision. So these people will always fact check you. Never, ever, ever say misinformation to these people. If they find out that you said one piece of misinformation, and by the way, these people will typically find out, you've lost that deal forever. You will lose that deal forever. These people typically do have done research on solar as it is anyways. And so these people can't be sold. They're just not those social people. We can go in and I could deep dive into exactly like specifics on how to close these people. But today what we want to do is I want to cover a facial feature that you will immediately be able to recognize what type of people these are. And today what we're going to be talking about is eyebrows. Whether you consciously know this or not, subconsciously, you're all paying attention to eyebrows. So I know it sounds like kind of very cliche, but here's where it goes. So there's two types of eyebrows. I was looking for some pictures to show you guys, but I'll just have to leave it up to your imagination, and you'll just have to be able to resonate. You'll just have to be able to check this out. So eyebrows are telltale signs of how people make decisions. And I'm going to give it to the baseline like this. A low eyebrow that's very low to the eye, these people are quick to make decisions. These are going to be the bold personalities. These are going to be the people that are immediately going to make a decision, whether or not they're going to talk to you or not. You'll be able to recognize this now when you go out and knock on the doors, and you'll be able to subcategorize people and see how many people. These people, you have about 10 seconds to make a case with these people because they're making up their mind whether or not they're going to talk to you or not. It's very important that you get right to the point and that you don't kind of drag this stuff on talking about nuances or anything else that doesn't pertain to the value proposition. Very important part of the equation. A low eyebrow is going to be sitting right off of the eye. And these types of people are usually the kind of the best people that I like to work with because they're quick to make decisions. I don't have the patience for the other types of people that take a very long time and it's very circular to make those decisions. So if their brow, and I'm sure you guys are, I don't know how many of you guys have already looked at your guys' eyebrows as we've been on the conversation today. Most of you guys have low eyebrows. So I think the majority of you guys have low eyebrows on here.
I think my eyebrows are on my eyeball down there.
That's
so
right.
close.
As you make quick decisions, bro. That's how it happens. So you guys will be able to check this out, and then make sure to fact check me. See, you can be able to resonate with this. I've studied this and I've looked at this and I've been able to categorize people. Immediately when I go into somebody's house and I see this, I know that these people are quick to make decisions. So I've got a brief moment of time to be able to demonstrate why the system or this process works with the value proposition. The next one we have is the high eyebrows. So the people whose eyebrows are way off there. These people are slow to make decisions. They usually take their time on making decisions. They're not going to jump to a judgment decision until they've got some more information. These types of people are usually going to be like, okay, I need to think about it. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do my research. These kind of go back into the subcategories that we have there. And so these people have higher eyebrows from their eye line. You'll notice with these people, you're like, and it's really important that when you identify these types of people, like when I identify these particular types of people, I tell them who they are. If I'm in an analysis house, I'm like, I know you want to run your spreadsheets, graphs, and maps. But what you're going to find when you do that, because I've had numerous people actually run the spreadsheets, graphs, and maps, is that you're always going to find that the math pencils out. What I know is that you obviously want to do your research. You're probably a little bit risk adverse. And so what you want to do is you want to do this, this, and this. And so telling them who they are is going to allow you to build up the rapport gap because they feel like they're understood. These people usually have a tendency to make a little bit longer decisions. These people need to do the research, making sure that you kind of understand where they're at. That doesn't mean because they need to do the research that they have to do the research. You can still get these people to move forward. I don't want you guys to go and judge somebody. Oh, they got a high eyebrow. They're going to have to think about it. No, these people can immediately make decisions. These people can make decisions. They're just going to take it has to be circular, and you have to continue to demonstrate what the value proposition is over and over and over again until they're able to make that decision. Asking very quality, good questions with these people are very important. So hey, obviously, when you do your research and you find out that this program is really, really good for you, obviously you would make this decision. If you had a crystal ball and you could look into the future and you knew that everything I said was correct, obviously you would do this, right? So this is and giving them that space and time and not applying a whole lot of pressure with these types of people. You can apply pressure. I'm always going to tell you guys to assume the sale, but making sure that you're circular and these people need a little bit longer time to be able to think about it. These people want to go into a little bit more detail about the value proposition. These people are always going to be like, hey, I don't really understand this. Can you really make me understand? It's very important that you talk about some of the things and stuff, some of the value benefits, and that you don't skip steps on these people. If you're knocking doors, you're not skipping steps on these people. You want to make a good value proposition on why these people need to make a decision. Does that make sense to you guys? And there's mid-range eyebrow. There's a cut between the two. Sometimes people have different eyebrows. Sometimes one's up and one's down. And that's and there's two sides of the face. You got right side, left side. Sometimes you got their personal life and you got their business life. And sometimes it's just sometimes it's a combination between the two, but you'll kind of notice this on some other people's face. Are you guys understanding what I'm talking about right now? You guys good?
Wait, but I have a question. Is it how it rests on their face or how they make their eyebrows? Because people make the facial expressions.
No, it's how your eyebrow rests on your face.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, look at Fontenelle. Everybody look at Thomas Fontenelle. Look at how low his eyebrows are. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. This guy makes immediate decisions.
I want to see how high Justin Ramey's eyebrows are.
Oh, they're high.
Is he on the top?
Oh, they're high, buddy. They're high. Yeah, they're high. He's a guy that takes a while to make decisions.
No, they're like complete opposites.
Yep. So here's the other thing. Now we're gonna go into the shape of the eyebrows. Okay. You guys ready? So I'm gonna go like the straight eyebrow, like just the straight. It's straight across their face right here, right? These people are a little bit more analytical, but these people are going to know, want to know like how is this like, they're going to break it down more like an owl personality. So these people are going to want to be analyze stuff. They're going to want to dissect it. They're going to want to go in through deep dive into all sorts of stuff that goes with. These people are always going to be analyzing stuff. They're quick to make decisions a lot of times, but these people are going to analyze stuff. The second one is the rounded eyebrow, the one that goes around like this. Mike has these. I'm looking at Mike right now. He's got the rounded eyebrow. You see that? You see these rounded eyebrows? Everybody look at that. So they're more concerned with everyone else. How is this going to benefit everybody? How's this going to benefit everybody in the tribe? How's this going to benefit my family? How's this going to benefit, everybody that's I'm associated with? What's this going to mean for them? So obviously we're talking about solar decisions, but we really want to make sure that these people are more concerned with their family and with the legacy and with the long future of what they're going to have. The second one is the arched eyebrow. Do you see this? Arched eyebrow. I have arched eyebrows. This means, and I have one rounded eyebrow and one arched eyebrow. That means I have a family, and then my family life, and then I have what's I'm going to talk about. I'm going to have my business life. An arched eyebrow is like, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Like, how is this going to benefit me? So, like, when we're talking about these things, we got to really be able to resonate. What's in it for me? So we're going to be like, hey, dude, you are going to love this because you're going to be able to use as much energy as you want, when you want, how you want. You are literally going to save thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Not only that, but you're going to have absolute certainty and predictability in the foreseeable future. Some of the verbiage that we can actually use, if we recognize that they're rounded, we're talking about them and their legacy. You and your family, this is in perfect alignment with what you and your family's goals are, because you and your family's goals, you want absolute certainty in the foreseeable future. The way that I'm using my linguistics is I'm mentioning something that will resonate more with them. So sometimes it's going to be resonating a little bit more with their family life. Sometimes it's going to be resonating a little bit more with what's in it for them. If you guys can learn to identify this, you're going to be speaking these people's language every single time. Like every single time. Like it's very important that once you identify these things, and dude, their eyebrows are right on their face. Like if you look at people with no eyebrows, anybody seen anybody with no eyebrows? Like they look weird. Like the girls that shave off their eyebrows, anybody seen that? And they didn't pencil them on? Dude, it looks weird. Our eyebrows are also ways that we make facial expressions that we picked up on at a very early age as we were babies. So when we were babies, we picked up on facial expressions, and it's mainly to do with the eyebrows. So if we're surprised, what do we do? If we're doing like this, we're like kind of like a little bit furrowed. We talk about some of the furrowed brow. You guys have heard some of these terms and stuff that people have used throughout the centuries. So learning to identify these types of people, it's very important once you learn to identify these people that you communicate them in the way that they're comfortable communicating. The better you can understand and identify who these people are and not miscategorize these people either. If you miscategorize these people, you might miss the mark. If you think they're an owl personality and you're talking about charts, graphs, and maps and mathematical equations, you're going to lose these people every single time, right? If you can identify that what type of personality these people are, subcategorize these people into a particular category, now you can speak their language because now you're obviously on the same wavelength and that you're effectively communicating with all of these people. I'll send you guys a little spreadsheet that I have. I'll send you guys a little spreadsheet that I have to be able to identify what these people look like. And there's some pictures and stuff on there that I'll blast out on here. I want to do some role play, and I want to throw out the personality. And then I want to be able to role play on how we'll set those appointments. You guys good with that? Let's start with one of these guys.
What if the person doesn't have eyebrows?
Look at how low Zach's are. Look at how low Zach's are. Look, now Dimitri's coming in. His low too. Everybody's low here. Who's got the high eyebrows in here? We don't want to identify the facial features. We
No, I
want
was
to
saying,
be.
what if the
Yeah.
person doesn't have eyebrows? What if the person doesn't have eyebrows?
Well, dude, that's rare, bro. So, like, where are your eyebrows at? Ask him, where are your eyebrows? You don't have any eyebrows. How am I supposed to read you? You can ask him that.
Then they don't have no personality, no eyebrows.
Yeah.
No personality.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't really exist, dude. They're like ghosts. So, like, here's the other thing. Like, dude, you guys can even tell people. Like, here's the thing: is we're having open communication, open dialogue with people. Like everything that we learn here, you'd be like, "Hey, I learned this." And what I was curious of is like, if I were to categorize you in this category and you look like this, and this, people love to hear about themselves and they love to hear about like how you would diagnose these people. Like this is an occupation breaker. Like they answer the door, maybe they have very low eyebrows. Hey, this is really important. I got to talk to you real fast. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. You're like, hey, one second here. I just learned something. People who have low brows are very quick to make decisions. Is that why you're getting rid of me? Like, are you the type that's just going to make quick decisions? And I see that you have an arch in your eyebrow. So you want to know what's in this for you? Does that accurately describe you? Like now you're asking engaging conversations with these people. Like these are really engaging conversations because now you're going to open up a dialogue with these people and then you're going to be able to discuss this stuff with them. I challenge all you guys to do that.
Hey,
Sometimes we get, go ahead.
Luke, I have a question. Do you have like a template of it or anything with like all this information? Because like I'm ready for getting all the eyebrows, the different shapes. But or where did you get this information so that way I can learn it and study it?
I got it from Brian Gieske. He's the facial. I bought a course, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. So I bought a course like 2 years ago, and he goes over all the face. And I got these flashcards. I think Miles got the flashcards as well. So and dude, these are
Okay.
like spot on. You were there, dude. Like
Okay.
in door-to-door con, the guy that did the subtle skills. Remember? He's a chubby guy.
Brian, I mean,
I have a.
the bald head guy.
Yes.
The bald guy.
Yep, that guy. I'll send out the. I have a PDF that I can send you guys. I'll send you guys when I'm done.
Hey, Miles just sent it.
Huh? Zach's wanting to role play. Zach, you wanting to role play?
Yeah, I don't care. I was saying Miles just sent out the spreadsheet on what type it looked like.
Okay, good job, Miles. There you go. Oh, look at this. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, I had uploaded to the chat right here the Zoom call, but I don't know if you can like share the screen so everybody can see or what. But
Good job, Miles. All right, Zach, let's go, man. Let's. I'm a little old lady. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Zach. The reason I'm here is a little different. We're just a new utility company in the area. By chance, I don't know if you talked to a lot of your neighbors here. They were really concerned with their energy, consumption last summer. It was like the highest it's ever been. Do you talk to a lot of your neighbors? Have they talked to you about this?
No.
Oh, no, I totally understand. Like I said, we're just working. The increases have come out from SRP. Did you get some of those increase letters at the bottom? It was like a $500 million price tag. Some of your neighbors, like Martha up the street, she actually laminated and put it on her fridge. She's really concerned with them. Like your neighbors are freaking out about this. Have you taken some steps to, work on, like what are you going to do in this situation with these increases?
I don't know. I can't afford to pay those.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. That's exactly why we're here. We're actually a new utility company. And like I said, I don't know if you know what's going on with SRP or why those rates are going up. Has anybody talked to you about why they keep increasing?
No, nobody's talked to me. I watched the news and I've been seeing it though,
Yeah. What have you seen on the news?
that they're increasing everybody's rates.
Yeah, so a little like story. I don't know if you've seen where they're decommissioning the coal plant up in St. John's. That's kind of been happening for the last couple of years, but this year it goes down to like one shift, and there's that $500 million price tag I was telling you. They're going to solar, and they're building these solar plants or these solar fields, and it's a supply and demand issue. That's why it's an 8% increase per year, right? That, you know why, like last summer, I'm sure it was like the highest it's ever been for you. Was it about $200 as a high bill?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's going on with that is that it's an 8% increase per year. So that means in 5 to 7 years, it's going to double your bill. So imagine paying $400 as a high bill.
I can't
Like,
do
how will
that.
you feel?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'm on a fixed income.
Yeah. So all we're doing, we're just working with homeowners. I don't know if you'd qualify, but what we're doing is we're just running a report based off of your usage of your house and the location. So you know that bar graph at the top left?
Yes.
So what we do is we just run a report and see if it makes sense. Like if it makes, what's your first name, ma'am?
Martha?
Hey, so Martha, so what we do is like, if it makes sense, what I'll do is I'll come back and show you. But if it doesn't make sense, I'll just call you and say, hey, Martha, like this doesn't make sense. Our program, it's not a good fit because I don't want to waste your time. Do you get your bill online or by paper?
Paper?
Okay. So what we could do, also, what side is your meter on? Is it on the right or left side?
It's left side. I don't know. It's one of those sides.
Okay, cool. So what we do is go grab that bill. I'm just gonna go take a check at your meter. Does that sound fair?
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so I'll meet you back here.
Here's my bill.
Okay, yeah, so see right here, all we do is we look at the usage here, and meanwhile, I take a photo of it. And then from there, we just see if it makes sense and if you qualify. There's two things. Listen, we don't work with homeowners unless we put you in a better financial situation. And for two, there's no money out of pocket because it's a utility program. Like you didn't sign it, you didn't pay anything to go on with SRP. So that's the big thing. So no money out of pocket. And then the same thing is like we have to put you in a better financial situation. Are you usually here in the mornings or afternoons?
I'm not working. I'm here all day, but I got to really talk to my kids.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like, actually, what you could do, is it your son or your daughter that usually helps you with these situations?
Usually my daughter.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what we can do, by chance, we can give her a call real quick and see what would work best for her because I want her here, so she can kind of hear what we have to say because I know that it's a big decision in the sense of like there's a lot of questions and I like to make sure that we get those answered. Do you happen to have her number? We can give her a call real quick.
I can't bother her. She's at work.
Gotcha. Okay. Usually, does she work like Monday through Friday, like during the day?
Yes.
Okay. So what I can do is our schedule gets booked up pretty quickly. Today's Friday, so we usually have like Saturdays or Mondays we could set up. What day you think would work best for her?
I'm going to have to talk to her.
Okay. Well, what I can do is I can set you up for a time tomorrow at like 3:00 in the afternoon. That gives some time to see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot you a text right now, and you can just let me know if that changes. What's a good number to reach out to?
208-555-5555.
Okay, cool. So I just shot you a text right now. I just put my name here, Zach Radishak with Our World Energy, new utility company, and then I got you for 3:00 tomorrow. What we can do, if you want, I could actually shoot her a message. Do you want to provide that to me, and I could reach out to her, just kind of let her know why we're meeting?
I have to talk to her.
Okay. So what we'll do is I'll plan to be here at 3:00 tomorrow, and then just let me know if we need to reschedule by any means. And if there's any reason that she has any questions beforehand, just have her give me a call because you got my number now.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow at 3:00.
Okay. This is the feedback from you guys. Is that lady going to sit?
No.
No.
Hell no.
You think that lady's going to sit?
No.
Yeah, that lady's not sitting. She's like, okay, I have to and they'll always say, I have to talk to my kids. I have to talk to somebody. I have to talk to this. I have to talk to that.
So I should have built more.
Go ahead.
I should have built more like social proof and probably talked about somebody else that was in her situation and similar, and then how it was beneficial for her.
You can do that. That's a really good social proof, talking about the neighbors in the neighborhood that you've done, but also asking her questions about her well-being. Hey, obviously your daughter or your son, they obviously want you to be in a better financial position, right? They're probably really concerned about you. That's why they take so much good care of you, right? I'm assuming that they take a lot of good care of you, right? Because you consult them about decisions that you make, right? So do you think if we came and offered you a extreme discount on your utility bill that you're already spending with no money out of pocket, do you think that they would think that's a better thing or a worse thing for you? A better thing? Why do you think it would be a better thing? Why do you think they would be excited about you reducing what your fixed costs are? Do you think they would be more worried or less worried about you making a decision that gives you financial stability with absolute certainty? Do you think they'd be more worried or less worried? Less worried? Why do you think they're going to be less worried about that? Okay, cool. So what we're here to do, and you've never seen this program before because it's never been around, the government actually incentivizes this with the Inflation Reduction Act and with what we call the domestic content because we use American-made equipment. All we're trying to do is see if you qualify so that we can have a massive reduction in your bill. I guarantee that if I were talking to your daughter and I were telling your daughter like how this program works, and she knew with certainty that what I was saying was accurate and true, that she would do this, right? Why do you think she would do this? So now I'm drawing them back and I'm pushing the decision-making skills on their daughter because this isn't really inevitably, it's not really about her daughter making the decisions. It's about what she thinks her daughter will think. It's about what her daughter, it's about what the other people think, what will think about them making this decision. Anybody ever gone to those people like, I can't make decisions, I'll get in trouble? Anybody ever talked to those people before? Like, I don't know. They're very risk adverse. They don't want to let anybody down. They want to avoid conflict, especially with their immediate family, people that are making decisions. I've gone to houses and they're like, no, my daughter, I made a decision once before and I got in trouble for it and I can't make the decision again. And so now what we want to do is we want to deep dive into psychology and we want to ask her simple information to get her thinking about her daughter's psychology and what her daughter will think. So do you think if we put you in a position where you have a drastic reduction where your bill's at right now, you have a fixed utility bill that you know what it's going to be for the foreseeable future, do you think your daughter would be into this or do you think she wouldn't be into this? Do you think she would worry or do you think she'd worry less? And now what we want to pose is we want to deep dive into that because we want them thinking about that. But chances are, even if you're talking to these people, you're not talking to the daughter. I liked how you pushed to get the daughter's phone number. If you push to have them call, they're whoever's making decisions, these people never do. They're like, oh, I can't call them right now because I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And the chances are these people typically aren't going to do that. But now if you can deep dive in their psychology about what their daughter or their son or whoever's the higher authority is going to think, now we want to deep dive into that and ask them these simple questions that make logical sense. These people will deep dive in there. And then if they feel like it's okay, or if they think that the decision maker is going to be okay with this, then they'll willingly make the appointment. And they'll make the appointment, and a lot of times they'll be able to tell their whoever the decision maker is about the equation. Does that make sense, Zach?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't get my unmute. Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, I should have definitely dived in there and then, been able to just prove that fact, like it would put her in a better situation. And I did this with Yoel the other day when the lady was basically, we were saving her a bunch of money on her. I was at closing at a appointment, and she was literally had like $650 high bills, and we were drastically saving her money. And I did it like 3 or 4 times, and I still couldn't get her to, move forward. She still needed to, I got her the documentation in her email. We were going through it, and then she just didn't want to sign anything. And I kept going back to her. I'm like, so does it put you in a better or worse situation with this? And she was a older lady, but she was like a bull personality. Like, she made the decisions. She didn't have a spouse to help make a decision. And, but she was like taking care of like 3 generations in the household. So that's something too. Like, I don't know how else I could have gone over that. Like, I literally got it to the end of the line, documentation, all the documents were in the emails, and she was just like, I need a couple of days to think about it. And I kept going back, and I was like, okay, and I just reapproached it different ways, but basically I was just giving her the scenarios, like, I don't know. I guess I got stuck on that one
Well,
too.
I'll tell you when you went wrong, dude. You were trying to overcome a phantom objection. You didn't draw the objections out.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, you're trying to get her to make a decision. She's feeling immense amount of pressure, and you're not drawing. She has an objection there that she's not telling you. So it's really important at this point that you got to start probing. You got to be like, okay, so let me just
What is
wait
your biggest
1 second.
concern?
Let me just understand this. So we saved you a boatload of money. We gave you certainty and predictability. Are you not making this decision right now because it's about making the decision? Are you not making this decision right now because there's the human error? I could be, I could be, let's say, like I could be being untruthful. Is it this process of elimination to drawing that objection out? We want to get the objection on the table. This is after doors are at the kitchen table. You have to have all the objections out on the table. It's like playing poker, and I talk about this all the time. If you know what everybody's cards are, you're going to win every single time. And so you were trying to push her into making a decision to move forward without drawing the objection out so that we could uncover the objection and overcome the objection and move forward. She was dying on a hill. A lot of times people will be like that. And then when they're like, you've already got to the point where you've ran the credit, you've done all this stuff. A lot of times what we've done is we haven't built enough value. They didn't understand the value proposition. We didn't make our case good enough, or there was some hidden objection and stuff that we didn't overcome. So one second, let me. So the other thing too is like on this, I had a point like this 2 weeks ago where the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I need to think. There's a lot of information. I gotta really consider this." And I was like, "Wait, 1 second here." So I just showed you a way. You've been through these solar presentations before. You've never seen anything like this. This is obviously the best deal you've ever encountered because it has a battery. We saved you money. We gave you certainty. I give you a better quality of life. What is it why aren't we moving forward? Is it about just you making a decision? I'm the same way. I'm risk adverse and I get bunched up when I'm making a decision. But let's future play this and let's have a crystal ball and let's future play this 2 years out. Let's say you made this decision. You now have absolute certainty and predictability. You know what your bills are going to be. You're saving tens of thousands of dollars. You're in a better position financially and also with a comfort level. Why is it that we are not making decisions? Is it just about making the decision? Is this where it comes down to? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm the exact same way. I fully understand where you're coming from. I get real bunched up when it comes to making decisions. But the thing is like, I would say, hey, yeah, you deserve that if you've never been through a presentation before, because I find people that when I come and meet with them and it's their first time, they don't know how good this looks. But the fact is you met with somebody in December, you met with someone a year ago. So you know for a fact that this is the best value you've ever seen because we're eradicating the bill and giving you a battery. Let's move forward. And he did it.
Okay.
So like, it was about the making decision. Now, like on this lady, she had an objection in there. We've got to uncover the objections so that we can overcome the objections. If you're trying to push somebody to make a decision and you don't know what the objection is, you're fighting against a brick wall because those people aren't going to make a decision.
Okay.
And so we could
Makes
process
sense.
of elimination. You can start throwing stuff out there. Is it because of this? 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 Just help me understand why you're not moving forward. I feel that this is in perfect alignment with you and your goals and everything else that you want. We saved you money. We gave you predictability. We gave you a better quality of life. I'm having a hard time. Can you help me understand? Like, can you help me understand what is it? Like, I understand that you need to process this information and make a decision. I wholeheartedly understand that. I gave you a lot of information. Chances are you're going to remember about 20% of the information we went over, but just help me understand what it is about this. So I can just understand. There's no pressure. There's no pressure here. I mean, I just want to understand. And then they're going to tell you, and then you overcome the objection. What you were doing is fighting against a brick wall because you never uncovered the objection with that lady.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can I say one thing real fast?
Yeah.
Well, when you're on the doors, one thing with old people is you got to slow down. You can't talk to an old lady the same way that you would talk to a tiger, or you're talking to Jeremy or something like that. One thing I do is like I drop my tone a lot, especially like if I see him, just depending on how they answer the door. I'm like, hey, usually I'm like, hey, what's going on, you guys? I work with a company called Our World. I don't know if you guys seen like our company in the neighborhood the last few days, but when I see like an old lady, I'm like, hey, how you doing? I was like, my name's Mike. I was like, I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on, but like my tone drops a little bit and I just want to be a little bit more soft spoken. And then also to like, make sure you're not like towering because you're tall as hell. So like, you don't want to like be towering over an old lady as soon as you meet her. You kind of want to stand back, right? And be as less intimidating as possible. Not that you're intimidating, but like less confrontational as possible, right? Like
Yeah.
I just think maybe slowing down a little bit and just showing a little bit more empathy. You know what I mean? That would definitely help out, especially with older people. And a lot of times, what I'll do too is like the same thing. What you were trying to do is you're trying to lock down a time with the daughter or whatever. I would just set the appointment with her, and then when you get into the home, then you can call the daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if the mom's not even sold on solar yet, like there's no point in having the conversation. You could do a good enough job to where you get her sold on the solar. She's gonna call her daughter. Her daughter might say no, but she's like, no, I think this makes sense. I still want to move forward. So your job is to take the sale as far as possible. And then another thing too is like a lot of times when you're saving people a lot of money, you're drastically reducing their electricity bills. They might not like necessarily trust you 100% because it sounds kind of too good to be true. So if you could have some social proof, you could pull up like customer testimonial videos on clients that you've had that have been installed. I know that you guys don't have any customers that have been through the summer yet, but once you start getting those customers with the summer bills that you sold last summer that actually save money, it's good to go back and take videos and you could show them. And you're like, hey, like obviously I'm going to tell you it's good for you no matter what. I have a biased opinion. I actually do solar, but don't take my word for it. Take Jim's word for it, and then play the video for them and show them. Or if you talk to their neighbors in the community, you could just like say you take a quick video with them. Say they got solar like 10 years ago. They're like, I love my solar, because you guys. I know TrueGrid loves to knock on existing solar systems already. But yeah, just getting a customer testimonial video with them. You don't have to say you sold them solar. But like, hey, look at your neighbor. She went solar. Like she said that she had the same concerns as you, but look at how her experience was. So that's what I would do just with older people. I don't like selling old people because at the end of the day, they never really truly end up making the decision anyways. If they're too old, I won't even sit with them. If like my lead setter set me like with this 80, 90-year-old, I'll walk into the house and I'm like, yeah, no, bro, I'm not doing this, So.
Yeah, that was good information. So too, like the way that you're speaking to somebody, very soft tone. So I love that. I was going to bring that up. Good.
And
good
putting your hand on your heart too.
Yeah, like you can. There are very specific ways that you're going to talk to those people. And Zach, you are tall. You're probably going to intimidate the shit out of people. They see some big ass dude coming to their door, like lurking Charlie, dude. That guy was he's like huge, man. It's a giant head. But the thing is like you're non-confrontational with these people at all times. You want to be very soft-spoken and be able to kind of come in there and then kind of tell them. I love to tell people like what I see from them. So like if I see people like, hey, I understand that your daughter or your son probably helps you make a lot of decisions because it probably helped you out a lot. I'm sure you were probably married and your husband probably passed away, right? And they'll be like, yes. I'm like, okay, I understand. We work with a lot of people like you. And here's what we found. Martha was the same way, or Beverly was the same way, or whatever one of the customers that you have, they were the exact same way. But once we actually came to the house and we showed them how this works, and we showed them mathematically on paper how this works, every one of those people had done it. And then leveraging social proof is a very important part of the equation. Stories, always stories. The other thing is like, this is next level, but once you can understand who these people are, like you can leverage a story about the type of person they are, about someone that you had like that made the decision to go solar, because they'll seek comfort and they'll be like, oh, well, like-minded people like myself made this decision. And if they can resonate with that, that's why I'm always talking about engineers. I'm talking about, people that were, in charge of these massive megawatt solar projects and all sorts of stuff like that. So really important part of the equation, just kind of identify these people and then communicate with them how they're comfortable communicating with. But out of time today, you guys. Love you guys. Let's crush it. This week is weak sauce. We got to kick it into gear, man. We've got Friday and Saturday. Let's go hard in the paint and let's finish strong.
Let's go.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see you
Heck
guys.
yeah.
Thank you. Have
All
a good
right,
day.
see you guys.
Thank you.
Look, I was waiting to do the Indian, man.
Oh, yeah.